So a phenomenon I'm learning to understand better is intelligence or skill or wisdom or knowledge being used maliciously, being used with ill intent, and then authority, therefore, maybe a doctor, someone who has a degree, a license to practice, and then using that, violating their Hippocratic oath, and using that maliciously. Like, I've had psychiatrists, therapists I've seen do that, and then so want to refer to the Stanford prison experiment that used, they had I think a basement of the university. They converted it into a mock prison, and they brought in students and then split them randomly, made them either prison guards or prisoners, and then had them fulfill that role, and then had them a few days, and they started behaving, abusively. And then the conclusion was that the capacity of authority, when you give somebody authority for them to abuse it, especially in that context, right, in a prison context, and I do see it a lot. People who do get authority, church people in the church hierarchy, official administration in church, people who reputable people who are, who you count on, spiritual leaders. I see, law enforcement. I mean, to a lot of people, that's not surprise. Hospital officials, college professors, I've seen blatantly abuse the authority, especially on me. And so that's the thing, and then this James Bond antagonists and superhero antagonists, like those are the typical ones you see. The antagonists, the malicious, but then there's also the arrogance, the eccentricity, the narcissism, the term shrink comes from the therapist is referred to as a shrink because the predominant problems, common problems like that I refer to with the antagonists, they get big-headed, right? That's what happens, I think. Narcissists, egotistical, right? If you're arrogant, if you're egotistical, and you care only about yourself, and you don't seem to care about others, like run over other people to meet your needs, and they've seen that so much. And then the notion that springs out of childhood trauma. A lot of times, if you were wounded as a child, and then you compensate for that by creating a super idealized image of yourself with a lot of power, and then you create that later on in life. The song, Jimi Hendrix song, gonna get out of this town, get a train out of this town and make something of myself, come back, buy this town, put it in my shoe. I actually was listening to this when I was being bullied as a kid, and then fantasizing, having that sentiment, and I see a lot of people, those James Bond villains, those superhero villains, a lot of them are perhaps kids that were bullied as kids or hurt as kids, abused as kids, coming back to take revenge on a mean world. You see, I'm fortunate the way my psyche processes. I help other people heal, help people in order to heal. Because I feel like I'm helping myself, helping who I was.